Hello everyone, I'm Harry, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to do a sound mic of my 3 favourite songs from the AM album, all with intro songs, so let's get into the first one.
Arabella's got some interstellar gator skin boots and a helter-skelter and a little finger, and I ride it endlessly. She's got a Barbarella silver swimsuit, and when she needs to shelter from reality, she takes a dip in my daydreams. My days end best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eye. Just my talking to your mind and soul. You can be Arabella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover, it's an exploration. She's made of outer space, and her lips are like the galaxy's edge, and I kiss the color of a constellation falling into place. My days end best when the sunset gets itself behind that little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eye. Just my talking to your mind and soul. You can be sure that's my key. If she ain't go just to slip underneath it, I hope I'll sleep in. I can have one of the organic cigarettes that she smoked up to it. Right a Mexican connection with, but you were the bottles made to slip out your soul, and it sounds just mind attaching to your mind and soul. You can be sure.
Okay, so that was Arabella, so some really cool tones on this one. So we'll look at the rhythm parts first. So we have Jamie's rhythm part and Alex's rhythm part, then there's a couple of little overdubs here and there, as well as the outro solo. So for Jamie's parts, I was using my 1959 Reissue ES235, Monty's low output PF on booking pickups. Now, the reason why I decided to do 3 of these songs from the AM album, because I was recently sent a demo of the Automatone Preamp Mark II from Bliss Audio, which is an incredible piece of gear. You can get pretty much any overdrive tone and any fuzz tone with this, as well as so much more, and that's exactly why I wanted to use it in this video, because there's a wide range of overdrive and fuzz tones on these 3 songs, and I thought it'd be killer to use it in this video. I actually did a full demo of the Automatone Preamp Mark II by Bliss Audio, so if you'd like to see that, there'll be a link up in the cards, in the description, and pinned in the comments. But before we get started, if you like this sound like video at any point, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification for me as well. It really does help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. There's going to be affiliate links down in the description to every piece of gear I used in this video and to record my videos. These do help support the channel out further, so I'd really appreciate it. Go and check them out. So of course we've got the Automatone handling all the overdrive and fuzz tones in this. So of course I had a good overdrive tone for Jamie's rhythm parts. Now other than that, I've got a big spring reverb sound coming from the Universal Audio Golden Reverberator. which I then kick to a more subtle spring sound when we go into the heavier chords. But for that little slide on the lead line and the little, that's the more wet sounding reverb from the Golden Reverberator. Other than that, that's it effects wise. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now. You'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen, and just bearing in mind we have the spring reverb coming from the Universal Audio Golden Reverberator. Okay, so now we'll look at Alex's parts. So Alex was using his Les Paul custom a lot, so I decided to use my 1959 reissue Les Paul. Again, we had a nice overdrive tone coming from the Automatone preamp, and then we had that subtle spring reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator again. That's the same settings throughout the whole song for his rhythm parts. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now. You'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen, and just bear in mind we had a bit of spring reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator. There's also a drop D part that's really subtle and kind of follows the bass on that, and I played that on the ES335. Now, I used the settings for Alex's parts with the 335 for this, just so it's got a bit more gain. So I'll quickly pull that out. Again, we had a bit of reverb coming from the Universal Audio Golden Reverberator. I'll pull that track out, and you'll see the settings of the Automatone on the screen as well. Okay, so now there's the big solo outro. So this is double tracked on the neck pickup and pan held right and left. So I was using my Les Paul for that. We had a fuzz tone coming from the Automatone, and again, a little bit of spring reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator. So I'll pull that track out from the intro song now, and you'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen as well. that was Arabella, so let's get into the next one.
I'm a puppet on a string, Tracy Island, time traveling diamond, could have shake heartaches, come to find you, for in some velvet morning, years too late, she's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space, in my mind when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, cause here isn't where I wanna be, and satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I wanna ever say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Oh, I guess what I'm trying to say is I need the deep end, keep imagining meeting wished away. Entire lifetimes unfair, we're not somewhere misbehaving for days. Great escape, lost track of time and space. She's a silver lining, climbing on my desire, and I go crazy, cause here isn't where I wanna be, and satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I wanna ever say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? And the thrill of the chase moves in mysterious ways. So in case I'm mistaken, I just wanna hear you say you got me, baby. Are you mine? She's a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind when she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, cause here isn't where I wanna be, and satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I wanna ever say is, are you mine? Well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you
Okay, so Are You Mine? Probably my favourite track off AM if I had to pick one, but there's so many good ones on there anyway. So for Alex's part, I'm using my Gretsch Firebird jet because that's exactly what Alex used on his original recording and live a lot. I really think it gets that tone. Again, I was using the Automatone. We had it set up for a fuzz this time because that's exactly what they did. And then I had a bit of reverb coming from the golden Reverberator again. So really simple, it's that tone all the way through. Now, when we get to the solo and the lead sliding parts, there's a bit more gain, but we'll look at that after. So I'll pull the main rhythm track, Alex's parts, out from the intro song now. Golden Reverberator, add a little bit of spring reverb, and you'll see the settings of the Automatone giving us that fuzz tone on screen as well. Okay, so the other part, which is pretty much give and take, some octave changes, is Jamie's parts. He's playing it on his SG with the Firebird, so that's what I did. I used my 1964 Reissue SG, Monty's low output PF and looking pickups. Again, we had a nice fuzz tone coming from the Automatone. This time it was quite a bit cleaner than Alex's part, so I did that, and it's a little bit brighter as well. And again, we had a bit of spring reverb coming from the golden Reverberator. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now, and you'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen. Okay, so the only other part is the lead solo and the lead slides. Now, I did this on the Gretsch because Alex plays this live and he does it on his Jet, and I'm sure that's what they did in the studio. This time I had a bit more gains and a bit more treble content on the fuzz sound, just so it sticks out as a lead line a bit more. It was on the bridge pickup for the main solo, and then when we get to the lead slides, I actually go to the middle position, which is both pickups together. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now. Again, there's a little bit of spring reverb coming from the golden Reverberator, then the fuzz lead line, and then the fuzz lead time is coming from the Automatone, which you'll see the settings on screen. So that was Are You Mine? So now let's look at the final one, which is Do I Want to Know?
The goods. Been wondering if your heart's still open, and if so, I wanna know what time it should. Simmer down and poker up. I'm sorry to interrupt, it's just I'm constantly on the cusp. I've tried to kiss you. I don't know if you feel the same as I do.
Okay, so if you do want to know, there's some interesting parts on this. It's kind of really contrasted parts. We've got Alex's parts, which he played on his 12 string, and I'm just replicating that with an octave pedal on the Gretsch Jet. And then we've got Jamie's parts. So we'll look at Alex's parts first. So again, the Gretsch Jet, bridge pickup. I had like a distortion-y overdrive sound coming from the Automatone again. The IC5 octave to simulate that 12 string and give us that upper octave. Then there's a really subtle harmonic tremolo coming from the Astra modulation machine by Universal Audio. This is set to the exact same speed that I used for Jamie's parts. It's just the depth is pulled down quite a bit. And then we've got a nice spring reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now. You'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen. And just bearing in mind, we have the octave to emulate the 12 string. We have the nice subtle harmonic tremolo from the Astra modulation machine by Universal Audio. Then a spring reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator. Okay, so now we'll look at Jamie's parts. So this is quite a clean sound and quite a heavy tremolo sound. Now it kind of sounds univibey, and a lot of people think it's univibe, but I really believe it's a harmonic tremolo. So again, I was using the Astra modulation machine by Universal Audio to give us that harmonic tremolo sound, and I had the depth up a lot more compared to Alex's parts, so it's really contrasting nicely. We had a really mild overdrive / EQ shaping sound coming from the Automatone, and then there's a subtle delay tone coming from the Starlight Echo Station, also by Universal Audio, then running into spring reverb in the Golden Reverberator again. So I pull that track isolated from the intro song now. We have the harmonic trem from the Astra modulation machine, the Starlight Echo Stations give us a nice quick delay tone, then the Golden Reverberator giving us a spring reverb sound, and you'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen as well. Okay, so for the big lead outro part that we hear Jamie play, again, that was with the SG. I had a bit more gain coming from the Automatone this time, and I actually had a whole reverb setting in the Golden Reverberator to give us that big spacey sound. So I'll pull that track isolated from the intro song now. You'll see the settings of the Automatone on screen, and just bearing in mind we had a whole reverb coming from the Golden Reverberator by Universal Audio. So there we have it. That was a look at how to sound like my top 3 songs off the AM album, all with intro songs. This one was a lot of work, but it was really cool. If you're wondering, that post I put in my community recently, this video isn't to do with that post. That post is going to be a whole complete different video, and it's a really big video, so keep a look out for that. Like I said, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I was recently sent the Automatone Preamp Mark II by Bliss Audio. There's a really flexible overdrive pedal and fuzz pedal that could really replace so many different drive pedals and nail loads of different tones. And I wanted to do these 3 songs because they have a wide range of tones, and I thought it'd be really interesting to try and get them with the Automatone. Again, if you want to see my full demo of the Automatone Preamp Mark II, there'll be a link up in the cards, in the description, and pinned in the comments. Of course, having all the different guitars really came in handy, like my 335 for Jamie's parts, the Gretsch Jet for Alex's parts, and the SG for some of Jamie's parts as well. It's really fun. It's always really fun doing this album because I have the guitars, and it's really fun to always try and get these tones so close because it is one of my favourite albums of all time. We have the Astra Modulation machine to give us some harmonic tremolo in parts, the Boss Octave IC5 to give us that 12-string emulation, the Starlight Echo Station to give us a nice delay tone, then the Golden Reverberator for different spring reverb tones as well as hall reverb tones. This is a really fun one to do, and because I had the multi-tracks, I was able to isolate the guitar parts and listen closer that way and try and get my tones close. But let me know down in the comments how close you thought I got to the original songs in this video, and any future How to Sound Like videos you'd like to see me do. If you did like the Sound Like video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification for me as well. It really does help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Other than that, go onto my channel, check out some of my playlists. I have plenty more lessons, covers, gear demos, How to Sound Like videos, and anything guitar related. As always, I've been Harry, and thanks for watching.